Hi, this is Champlet2 on the PlayStation Network. This video will review the style and design options for the arcades. I'll show you the 3 styles and each of the 9 mural options, the 9 floor options, and the 9 neon art options. We'll look at each of the 3 styles first, with the default flooring and no murals or neon art, so we can focus on the differences between each of the styles. And then we'll look closely at the mural, flooring, and neon art options. We'll also take a look at the personal quarters and the high score screens in the extras for the arcade, and finally, the garage option. There's a lot to cover here, so look for the timestamps in this video's description to skip ahead to the options you want to review quickly. The first style option is called Total Focus. It comes free with the purchase of an arcade, but it's $175,000 to switch back to this style from another one. The default flooring for this style is a blue checkered carpet, and the other 8 flooring options are the same for all 3 of the styles. When we step into the entry, you can see the light blue paint with the little highlight streaks on it. And we'll step inside, and it's the same blue paint, but it's a little bit darker in here because the lighting's quite a bit darker inside. And you also see highlights there on the wall from the recessed lighting. Now the stairs are some kind of a dark gray concrete with a little bit of sparkle to them. And the carpet, it did look like in the previews that it was going to be blue checkered carpet. And I guess it is blue, but it sure looks a lot more like gray once you're inside the arcade with it. So as we step up here on the platform, it's also got the concrete, sort of a dark gray concrete, and it's got little sparkles in it. And there's some pendant lighting in front of where the neon art would be on the wall. And it's surrounded by this dark blue metal railing. Underneath the railing is like a diamond tread aluminum, like you see in garages, but it's got sort of a pattern in it. And then there's this cabinet. I think that's some sort of brushed aluminum on it as well. It's kind of hard to tell. But it does appear to be some sort of metal. This little bar top also, I think, is metal. It's got kind of a marble look to it, but with that shine, I think it's some kind of metal. As we take a look back here, you can see it's got a drop ceiling with black ceiling tiles and recessed lighting. Pretty bright. And there again is the wall where the neon art would be. That's the office right up there to the left. And we'll come back around this way. There's the jukebox. And we're going to take a look at the bar in just a second. Now if you look back up at the office, you'll see the trim on the windows there is, I think that's also some kind of aluminum. And the bar top looks like it's some kind of aluminum too. It's hard to tell underneath that if that's metal or if it's white, those little cabinets, because they're all lit up. But if you look more closely at the bar top, right there on the edge, you can see the rivets. So it's some kind of metal for sure on the bar top. And the stools, they've got the 2 rings around them and sort of red leather tops there. And if we go behind the bar, you'll see the backsplash here is also some sort of embossed metal. I don't think it's aluminum, but it definitely has a pattern to it. And is Jimmy even old enough to drink legally? I thought he was like 18. But anyway, maybe it's legal. I don't know. Let's go take a look in the office. Now as you step up, there's green carpet with purple walls, and there's a little arcade character and some arcade posters. And when we come into the office, it also has the green carpet and the purple walls with some arcade posters and the 3D monkey, space monkey that is. There's a carpet there, a rug with space monkey on it. And then the bathroom has some arcade characters and figures sort of made right into the tile. And if you turn around right as you're heading out the door or in the door, it says play in the floor. That's kind of cool. Alright, so that's it for the first style. The second style option is called Take a Shine. The default flooring for this style is the exact same blue checkered carpet as the Total Focus style, but the other 8 flooring options are the same again for all 3 styles. And this style is a $290,000 upgrade. Now this style is nearly exactly the same as the Total Focus style, so I'm going to review this one pretty quickly and just highlight the differences. You see the flooring's the same, the steps are the same, the wall paint is the same. As we look around, the main difference here is going to be about lighting and the ceiling. The flooring is the same, little bar top is the same there, the cabinet is the same, all the walls look the same. Now here we had pendant lighting in this area on the first style, but this one has recessed lighting, little spotlight recessed lighting. But the diamond tread trim is still the same. The trim up on the office windows is still the same. They're really, I can't get over how exactly the same these two styles are, except for the ceiling. You see this one, instead of the black tiles, has got mirrored tiles and recessed lighting. So that's the predominant difference in this style and the first one is the ceiling. If you come over and look at the bar, everything's the same. It's got the same stools, the same bar top, the same backsplash. Everything looks exactly the same as it did with the first one. And just to prove that point, I'm going to step in here and show you it's the same green carpet, the same little figure, the same purple walls, and the 3D space monkey along with the rug. And the bathroom is also the same, with the same arcade designs in the tile and the little play. And that's it. So these two styles are very similar. The final style is called Exposed Hipster. And the default flooring for this one is a little bit different. It's very large beige tiles that have sort of a marble texture to them. And this is a $470,000 upgrade. Now it's important to remember when you get to this point and you're about to click buy, these pictures do give you at least a tiny sample of what it's going to look like before you purchase it based on the features that you've chosen. So right away you can see here's the exposed red brick, and the floor in here is sort of concrete. And take a step inside, and again all the walls are the exposed red brick, which is pretty cool. I think this one looks really nice. When you step down here and look back at the steps, they're concrete of some kind, as is that little pony wall around the stairs. It's also some sort of a concrete. And the floor, they're giant tiles. They have kind of more of a concrete look to them here than they did in the picture. They looked a little more beige in the picture, but they're kind of more gray when you see them in person. Now the platform here, you see you've got the diamond tread again on the steps, but the platform is all hardwood. And so this is also a wooden bar top here. And the cabinet is wood with black metal trim, whereas the last one was sort of a light metal, like an aluminum. All this railing you can see is the like black wrought iron with the wooden rails. And underneath that, instead of that diamond tread that we had in the other one, it looks more concrete on that wall underneath the railing. And you can see some of the exposed vents and air ducts. There's also some pendant lighting there by the front door, so this might have been the one I was thinking about earlier. Now, what I think is really cool are these pipe lights. Those are really neat. They go all the way around at the around the ceiling. There's also some drop pendant lights there out of the wooden beam ceiling with all the air ducts and stuff. And then when you come up here to the bar, this bar top is a little bit different. I think it's slightly darker than the other one, but it is some sort of metal still. And underneath the whole bar there is a black material. And these stools are totally different too. They have brown leather tops and the little feet at the bottom, but they don't have the two rings like the other one did. Another thing that's really cool about this exposed Hipster are all those big chalkboards behind the bar. And you'll notice up around the office there now the windows have a black trim, not that sort of silvery aluminum metal trim that it had. There's a couple of really neat pendant lights there above the bar too. The glass ones, those are really cool. She always cuts me off when I walk in here. So there's no like backsplash in here, there's just these big chalkboards instead of before it had the little backsplash, and so this is a little bit different on this style. And we'll step over here, take a look back. Those pendant lights are pretty cool, but I just love those pipe lights with the Edison bulbs. Now when we go in here, you'll see the steps are wood. They're all natural wood, and then the brick is still here, but it's been whitewashed. It's been painted white. And there's all these posters. That little character that was in the corner, she's not here anymore. There's just arcade posters. You walk into the office, and it's also white, and that 3D Space Monkey guy is not back here. Now you have a little palm tree plant. And that rug is gone as well. So a little bit different. There's you can't get this bike off the wall. I don't know why they put it there, but okay. And then here's the bathroom. This is a very different look with the subway tiles and the red trim and the black trim across the top. Those big Edison bulbs above the sink. And then there's a chalkboard with an arcade drawing on it and tile on the floor. And that's it for our third and final style option. For the design options, in the interest of time, I'm going to show you the mural options and the flooring options together. The naked options are the default. We already got to look at those in the styles. So we'll start with the Pixelated Thought mural design for $50,500 and the Lab floor design for $78,000. We're going to take a look at these together. I still had the exposed Hipster style, so you see the exposed brick there. And this mural design, it's really kind of like paint or wallpaper, and you can see the bricks still through the paint. So I'm going to switch that in a minute so you can see what it looks like without it for the future mural options. But basically, wherever there was brick, there is now this mural option. It's black with a little bit of, I don't know, sort of teal trim. And the floor, it actually is a similar color. But I wanted to show you here that when you change those mural options, it does not change the flooring, and the mural options only change in here. They do not change the hallway or the office or the bathroom, just in the main arcade. Also, bear in mind, none of these mural or flooring options affect the basement either. So the next mural option that we're going to look at is the racing stripes for $56,000. And the flooring style is called Scale Up for $86,000. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to switch this over to the Take a Shine style so I can get rid of the bricks so you can see what this looks like without the bricks showing through the paint. So you can see now as I get up really close to it, the wall is nice and smooth. And you can see it just basically, there's the flooring, by the way. It looks like little, I don't know, kind of like fish scales. It's rather subtle carpet. And you've just got these yellow, orange, and red stripes on the black paint. So it's pretty subtle. And over here, That's where the neon art would be, and it would just cover up that mural style. The next option we're going to look at is called Spray Forever, and it's $61,500. The flooring style is called Intergalactic, and it's $94,500. Now these two don't really seem to go together very well. Some of the styles do. There are some mural styles that have sort of a corresponding floor. I'm not even going to try to explain what all these arcade characters are. I'm just going to let you look at them. I'm going to take my time and walk around the room so you can see them, because I have no idea what some of this is. The flooring carpet's kind of cool with the little space designs on it. Just now, that's kind of cool. I think that looks like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on the wall there. I'm sure it's not supposed to exactly be them, but it sure looks like them. And again, just more arcade stuff on the wall. And you can see again, these mural designs don't change the trim in the windows of the office or the doors. Everything's always the same. None of that changes. It's really just the walls and the floor that get changed.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
Bye.
And it's that trim. It's also there below the railing. Sometimes they don't put it down there. And you can also tell this pony wall sometimes has the design on it, and sometimes it doesn't. This one's plain. So the next mural option is called So Kawaii for $68,000. And the flooring option is called Yay Rainbow for $104,500. Now this one's pretty colorful. If you have little kids or little siblings, they might enjoy watching this one. Very colorful, very young arcade designs. These little heads, some of them match this one and only arcade game that I've got right here, where you pick them up with the little claw. Some of those are the little heads on the wall. And the carpet is quite colorful. It's just a rather random design, I guess. So again, I'm just going to let you take a look at all these. That part with the rainbow and the hearts, that's where the neon art would be. So if you had neon art, you wouldn't even see that little section. Interesting little characters here. So this one's pretty much the same little faces of characters, other than, most of it's all the same. There's the big rainbow with the hearts again. And then there's a couple of random big drawings of other arcade characters in this one, but it's pretty much just the little faces all over the walls. Alright, so the next mural, let's see, this one is called Another Realm, and it's $76,000. And the next flooring option is called Thunderclap, and it's $117,000. That's pretty expensive for flooring. They're getting up there. Now this again is a whole lot of, I think it's primarily space figures. Some sort of wizard there on the walls. And again, I'm just going to sort of scroll around and let you take a look at it. Here's a good look at the flooring. It's predominantly purple with the little flashes of lightning through it. That's a very interesting floor.
How did you get this number?
Jimmy, now we've got that diamond tread back underneath the railing.
Your ass or your TV. If your mommy didn't let you play, you little bitch.
Okay, so different. It looks kind of like, I don't know, like you're on the moon or something with all these weird characters and these giant spiders. There's that same, the two girls tied to the pole. That was the drawing we saw earlier on the chalkboard in the bathroom. We'll see that again. It's in another one of the designs. And some weird big guy back there with a giant club. So he got two heads, or not sure what to make of that. Okay. Not a lot to explain here, just a lot to look at. Like some mountains and stuff there in this design.
Here to play?
I guess the thing you can take away from this is if you think you're going to do one of these mural designs on the wall, then the style that you purchase really isn't that relevant because you're just going to cover it up anyway. The next mural is called Wireframed, and it's $86,000. And the flooring is called Understated Stars for $132,000. Now, I don't think this is actual, like, a real language of any kind. I think it's kind of made up. But the geometric figures and stuff on the wall are kind of neat. And here's the flooring. Real good look at the stars on the floor. So the two of these do complement each other pretty well. The color of the floor sort of matches those mountains there on the wall where it had that kind of bluish tealish color. And again, this is the wall that would be covered up if you had neon art, and we're going to cover that shortly. But I guess this is quite a bit of, I don't know if you would call that some shade of pink and purple, and a little bit of blue and teal. Kind of teal, I guess.
Hi.
But it's dark. It's a really interesting look for an arcade. Okay. Now let's move on to the next mural. This one is called All the Colors for $96,000, and it is a pretty colorful design. And the next floor is called Super Fun Playthings for $148,000. I guess they got tired of trying to figure out what to call it. So I think it looks like little arcade logos and stuff, some of them on the floor. It's hard to tell. I'm trying to do a close-up to see what it really is, but you know, little lightning bolts and space and yeah, just little figures. And again, I can't possibly describe what all this stuff is on the wall, so I'm just going to take my time and walk through it and let you look at it. I guess that's the 3D Space Monkey up there, maybe. And take a walk up here on the platform. Now, these faces here you'll recognize from the arcade games that are in the center of the arcade that come with it. You get 4 of them for free. Okay. See here, there's the same faces on these games as there are up there on the platform. Looks like basically just geometric figures and colors back there. Little cubes and such. And then I'm assuming there's those 2 girls again, tied to some kind of a pole or a tree or something. I'm not sure what that is. These must be from other arcade games that either we won't get to see or maybe we do get to see if you buy the arcade games. I've only ever bought the one, so I really don't know much about the arcade games. The 9th and final of the mural options, this last one down here, is called Oh Edgy, and it's $107,500. And the final floor option is called Prim and Proper for $165,000. So these walls are all black and white, but it appears to be some sort of, you know, bits and pieces from arcade games. I'm just gonna go into first person and take my time and let you see all this because there's a lot to take in on this design. Everywhere you look is something a little bit different. It's very, I guess busy is a good word for it. There's just a lot to see. That's a scary looking panda bear. It does appear to repeat a little bit. I see the 3D Space Monkey logo. Oops, sorry Jimmy, didn't mean to run over you. There's a couple of like black and white posters of some of the video games. Arcade games to be specific. And that's the wall where the neon would go, which we're going to look at next as soon as we're done with this. Again, there's some more posters. I think I'm going to get out of first person here so I can walk around a little bit and not run into things. Okay, it's getting a little racier over here, although I'm not really sure why they call that censored. She's wearing a bathing suit. There's some other, I guess, shots from arcade games. And we'll take a look here behind the bar.
Arcade's open.
Okay, so this is the final of the mural and flooring combinations. There's a good look at the floor. It's really just a dark gray carpet with a little bit of pattern. You can see they did not cover the diamond tread there underneath the railing on this one, and they didn't cover the pony wall either. And that's it. Let's get into the neon art designs now. And by default, they're naked, which is no design at all. So the first one is Emulator. It's $107,500. You'll notice I also paid to change the style, the mural, and the flooring so I could get my arcade back to where I wanted to be to keep it this way. And I'm going to step up here on the platform, and I'm going to go into first person so you can get a really good look at this wall art. And you can see how it sort of fades out as you go to each side, and you can see the brick a little bit behind it. This next one is called Crotch Rocket. It's $128,000. And it's a pretty cool neon art of a motorcycle with nice blue sky. You can see a little bit there of the brick behind it, especially on the sides. This one's called Game Over. It's $149,000. And it's a pretty cool shot of a car busting through a brick wall. Very nice. You see a lot of the brick around that one. This one's called BFFL. Sorry, don't know what that means. It's $171,000. I think this one matches with at least one of the mural designs that we saw earlier that had all the little arcade characters. This one's called Mighty Sword, and it's $201,000. And wow, that one's colorful. That's really cool. That would look really nice with that Thunderclap flooring that had the lightning bolts in it. Really sharp. This next one is called LS Knights. It's $240,500. And it's a really cool shot of the city skyline in Los Santos. It's kind of small. You still see a whole lot of the wall behind it. But very colorful, very nice. I kind of like that touch that looks like water at the bottom. This one's called Penetrator. It's $280,000. Now, I haven't seen all the arcade games because I've only bought one of them. I'm assuming some of these images come from an arcade game that's probably named after that. I'm not really sure, but I can only assume that's where they come from. The next and the last is called Adult Content. It's $320,000. And again, not sure why they got censored on that. It's just a girl in a bikini, but okay. But it does cover the majority of that wall. And that would also look good, I think, with that black and white mural art we saw earlier. But anyway, moving on to the extras. If you want a personal quarters option, it's $150,000. So that way you can spawn directly to the arcade and get down to your MCT down in the basement. The high score screens would be $295,000 had I bought them by themselves. And I'm going to show them to you. I'm not really sure how much you get out of those. They're just a couple of TV monitors that appear right above the arcade games here in the center. And I'm guessing if you're playing them with a lot of your friends, the arcade games, maybe it'll register the high scores, but I haven't done that, so I don't see any of those scores here. So now we're down in the basement, and I'm going to walk past the heist planning boards. And this is the personal quarters. Now, yes, there's not much to it. Really, the only reason you'd want to buy this if you want to spawn here is because it's just certainly not much to look at. But it gets the job done, and you can spawn right in the arcade. And it does have a gun locker, so if you haven't already got that somewhere else, you'll have one here. And then you can also change clothes here. But that's about all there is to it. It's not very fancy, just a little makeshift wall here. And that's about it. Now before we get into the last garage option, I just wanted to apologize. I bought that a long time ago for my arcade and I didn't record it, so I can't tell you how much the garage option is. I don't remember it being really expensive, but you should be able to see that in the options if you haven't already purchased it. So normally there would be a solid wall that I just passed through if you didn't have this garage. So it opens all up if you get the garage option. And I have no idea what that's supposed to be. They have something like that in the basement of the vehicle warehouse too, and I've never figured out what that is. But you can see I've only got 3 cars in here right now. And of course it holds 10. I'm going to take you over here to the management screen and show you where all the spots are because they're a little bit odd. There's the third one. See how it's sort of in the middle, but then you've got some up on the platforms. It's just a little weird layout, but all 10 of them fit in here pretty nicely. And what's nice about this is it's not like you have just one little door that you can get in from the basement. For every one of these, there's either a ramp or stairs. As you go along, you can kind of climb under those pipes on those stairs. Or I could go up these stairs here and come right down into the planning room. Thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate you hanging around till the end with me to watch this whole video. I realize it was a little long, but there was an awful lot to cover. A like for this video and a subscription to my channel are always greatly appreciated. I hope these previews help you save a little money and help you find the perfect design for your arcade. Happy gaming, and I'll see you here next time.